just realized that it's starting now. So, okay,
Okay, okay.
again, like with the introduction, so it's been a long while we've met, and it's been a busy schedule for all three of us. So, Loken is traveling this week, so we won't have him for this video. Hopefully, he's there
But
starting next week again.
yeah, don't worry, we are not Dutch Liverpool fan. So yeah.
We were praising Liverpool, and let's continue with that. But I'd like to give like the season's almost the trophies very much
It,
within reach for Liverpool. Next couple of, in fact, as close as next couple of matches if all the other results, especially Arsenal results, go their way. And we know that we were talking about a transition that a smooth transition that has happened for Liverpool. So
yep, yep.
we've
I
seen,
think it's one of the best. I
mm,
mean, if not the best team, I would say it's one of the best team which Klopp basically, you know, handpicked each one of
yeah.
player he wanted and like how he wanted to play. And Slot, on the other hand, I feel that he also, made the best out of them.
So he's playing to the
But
strengths.
yes,
Lord is
yes,
playing to the strengths of the player.
rather than bringing in his own philosophy, his own formation. Maybe he will turn to it later.
Yeah,
Once he starts getting his own player, but he adapted to it pretty well. Plus, I think they have been very lucky with no injuries
right,
as well.
right.
You
Like
know,
Arsenal, they had a major injury. They had a couple of major injuries, especially the Saka one is hurting them really bad.
Saka, yeah, yeah, yeah,
He was one of
Saka.
the prime creators. So
I think everyone else, like City, Rodri
Rodri
injury.
is out for season. So their
Yep,
season was as good as and the season started for them on a shaky note after
checking
first
out.
few
Yep,
good matches, and they haven't recovered post that. That was evident. We'll cover in our later talk as well. So,
yep, yep,
later discussion. So, it has been a rocky season for them. Chelsea, they have so many players, but they have injuries as well. Like, not
yep.
all of them are fit. I would say they are lucky with Cole Palmer not having any major injuries through the season. But unfortunately, his form has dived off in the last couple of, I would say in the last month. And then United, they have had terrible luck with injuries. Uh, like on they are having to play their youngsters, and still they are not able to fill their bench. So you can imagine the how injury ravaged season it's been. It's been a season of turmoil for United so far. Only hope is Europa League, and we have a big game this week uh, for United.
Yep.
So let's start by diving into the review for the last Premier League game week. Starting off with the big match, Man United versus Arsenal. Amir, what were your thoughts on the match?
And,
Uh, your camera's tilted the other way.
oh, oh no, think I think I messed it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, can you hear me? Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I think for United, it's going to be tough to to get through this season. We gotta accept that we are going to not going to do anything.
The best I would say is
No.
somehow sneak our way into top 10. That would be possibly the only saving grace. That would be a
Yep,
big
yep, yep.
achievement. But
It is still possible.
yeah,
I mean, we can once we start discussing the PL games, we had good chances against Arsenal. I mean, let's just start it like
yeah.
Arsenal United, the bigger of the weak games. So we had chances. Raya was, I mean, at first he was very shaky. The first goal, I feel, while it was a really good free kick, you know,
The
Raya
positioning
could have
of
saved it.
Raya was suspect.
Positioning, yeah. That's right. So I think he should have been a bit more vigilant about moving to his left,
Yeah.
and anticipating a ball towards his left. Like he
He
was literally watching
he is good with ball distribution, no doubt. But then we saw the same Raya which fumbled his way in the FA Cup game versus
FA
United.
Cup.
Uh,
Yep,
his
yep,
positioning was
the
bad there
glitching
as well
Raya.
for penalties and like for and do you think it could be a possibility that other teams would like to explore more against Arsenal? Raya's positioning.
I think people have been doing it. So he has. he has shown good saves and good side of
He
him, but
did make a
at times
tremendous
he has.
match-winning save for Arsenal at the very end.
Oh wow! Like I think three saves.
It was a
He
double
made
save
three.
at least for sure.
Yeah, three major saves,
Yeah,
which I think like for sure they were goals. Like if
yeah,
it was anybody else, but it was just his
yeah.
day, or
If
like
it was
not day,
Haaland
maybe it was
instead of
just his.
Højlund, it would have been a goal.
Yep. That one. Then Mazraoui also. He like basically hit right on, like right near his leg.
Yeah, there was one
Raya was
flick,
lucky in that
one
one.
reverse, a backflip, reverse flip from Zirkzee as well, which landed
Oh,
in
yep.
Raya's hand.
Raya, and
So
yep,
United had
yep.
a very good second half. Like they were shaky at the start. Arsenal was dominating all the possession, and Bruno's free kick was the first attempt at goal. Not first attempt at goal, but
Yes,
first shot on target for United.
on target. Yep,
But then
yep.
Bruno is showing some good form. Like if you see past few games, Bruno Fernandes has picked up form. Since Ahmad's been out, like there was, and with three wingers out on loan for United, with so many
Yep.
injuries, like the onus is entirely on Bruno right now, and I feel there isn't much support coming in the attack front, at least elsewhere. But Bruno is doing his job. Uh, he has picked up form, and he is looking like the Bruno from 2 3 years back.
Yep. I think he's just lacking that one partner, one
He
finisher
needs a finisher. Like
who he
Hoyland's
can.
confidence is
Yeah,
all time low. He hasn't scored in
yep.
what 19 matches now, I believe. Uh,
Yeah, I think yep.
Even
And
Garnacho is not hitting the
Zirkzee,
target.
Garnacho looks like threatening, but his
He
final
adds pace.
delivery
He's
is
very dynamic.
pathetic.
He's very good going ahead. But
Yep.
like uh, his crossing is still suspect sometimes. He did
Yep.
have a good
And
cross
his
midweek again last week against Sociedad, where he assisted Zirkzee's goal. But otherwise, his crossing is suspect sometimes. And he's not even like I haven't seen him amongst goals recently. Even he's having a good
yep.
crowd.
And I think his decision making is a bit questionable sometimes.
Yeah,
Like when he hits, he should be at least be on target. He takes like that bit, like half of a second late shot, and then it goes over.
yeah.
He should be a bit more accurate on that. I feel. Plus passing. Sometimes you need to pass. He doesn't check. Who is available in the box, like who can score, who has a better chance of scoring, and then he just scores it himself. Call
I
him selfish,
believe
but
that
that's how the strikers are.
Yeah, I
That's
believe
that's
that
okay.
has been the problem with all our wingers. You
Yep,
take
yep,
Rashford
yep,
into the account. He was never good with passing into the box. He was more of like he'll dribble the ball, he'll take it to the edge of the box, then he'll try to cut in and then try to score himself.
yep.
So
Same
that
thing.
has been the problem with majority of United wingers recently. I'm hoping like Mason Mount, I don't know what's wrong with him. I hope he's fit because squad is very thin. We don't have attackers left. We are having to rely on youngsters like Aiden Heaven in defense and Chido Obi
Yep.
Martin in attack. Uh,
I mean,
so
it's
it looks
I think
hoping,
Amarim said that Shaw and Mount are expected to be back. Um, Ugarte should be back this week against
yeah.
Sociedad, he said. Hopefully. So that's a good thing.
Against Sociedad, we'll
Uh,
even have Patrick Dorgu. So like
Dorgu.
Mazraoui can go back in the three-man defense at the back. Then Dalo would be on the right
Yep.
and Dorgu would be on the left. Like he was suspended for this game, but he would be
Yep.
back in the Premier League. He would be back in the Europa League game this week, midweek.
Yep.
And what about Arsenal's
So
performance?
Arsenal performance, while they were dominating, I mean, at times they look in first half at least, they looked threatening. They looked like they were scoring, but somehow they missed their opportunities.
Yeah.
There were a couple of saves as well, which like a regular clockwork saves by Onana.
Yeah,
I mean,
they weren't outstanding chances to be honest. Like I
yeah,
don't remember there wouldn't be any outstanding saves from Onana to be honest. I don't expect that from him.
yeah, yeah.
So
I think just one I remember. I don't remember. I think it was Trossard who
mm,
just basically took a shot from edge of the 6 yard box, and Onana like literally. His reflexes were good and he pushed it out for the
Yeah.
corner. Luckily, not towards Trossard, so good. But
So, but Arsenal start
overall, I think,
close to gone.
yeah, I think they're gone. I think I saw an interview of Arteta where he was asked and then he
He
just
walked away.
basically walked away from the interview. So
Yeah.
I think it's gone. I mean, mathematically, not yet, but you know,
Considering
anyone would
Liverpool's
say like,
form, they've lost just one
yeah,
game the entire season in Premier League. They are
yep,
they are
yep,
on a roll. Salah's on a roll. Very good contender
yep,
for
yep.
Ballon d'Or.
And seeing Arsenal's recent form as well, they haven't been consistent. They have lost. They have drawn matches
They
that should
they
have
have
been won.
trashed PSV in the Champions League though, 7-0.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
So
was scared to go against them, against such a team.
yeah, they were
But
riding high on confidence. United dropped points against Sociedad. So
yep, yep,
it's good, and I wouldn't say it was a bad performance, especially the second half. United looked more threatening. They had more better chances. And
hmm,
hadn't it been for Raya's miraculous save or double save at the end, it was United
yep,
game to lose.
yep, 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 yep.
Okay, let's
Sure.
move on to the next
Let's
one.
move the
Forest
big
versus
one.
City.
Yep, the
Surprisingly,
second
battle
big
of
one,
top fours, not the battle that City would have hoped for,
and not the outcome City would have
and
hoped
not the
for as
outcome
well.
City would have hoped for. So, a
Wow, like I
brilliant
was
result for
shocked.
Forest and a
Yep,
shocker
yep,
for
big
City.
one. Big one. I think this result kind of seals their top four. Not seals, but it gives
They
them
are in a very
confidence to
commanding
be in
spot.
top
They are
four.
very, very
Yeah,
close to Arsenal. I believe a couple of points here and there.
four. I think 3 points.
Four points gap.
4 points. Yeah, 4 points gap.
Yeah,
Yep.
but then
So
they are way ahead. They're 4 points ahead from City. They're four ahead of Newcastle,
mhm,
and then five ahead of
Newcastle.
Brighton. So they are playing well. Everyone was hoping their wheels would fall off, but they are clicking. They are clicking as a team.
Yep, yep, yep. Let's hope like they finish in top four. That at least if not the title, that
Yeah,
top four should be like really good
considering the
for
amount
them to
of
continue this
team effort that Nuno Espirito Santos has put in, uh, the team which was threatened by relegation last season, it's making waves, and they made signings, no doubt, but not star signings. I would say like what City or
Yep,
United would
yep,
make. But in
of
spite of
course.
that, team coming from 17th, just surviving the relegation, and now almost close to top four, like cementing their top
Top
four
four.
status. It would be a huge, huge thing for Nottingham. And not to forget, like they are winners. If I'm not wrong, they have won Champions League once, back in the
Yep,
70s.
yep, yep. So
So,
back then they were a big club,
yeah,
but
they were a
then
big
that's
club back
that's
then.
that's Premier League for you.
You
One
have
team
Leicester who
just
came from
yeah,
relegation, who survived, and then they won the title. And then you have Forest almost doing close, going somewhere close to this.
close to that. Yep. So I mean, it was a tremendous result for them, and I feel City, if they want to finish in the top five, top four of top five, I would say top five because there's a good chance that PL might get
Fifth,
one more
fifth
spot.
spot. Yeah.
So if they want to finish, then they got to buckle up,
And
and
City,
especially
I
with
believe,
Bournemouth,
sorry, go ahead.
yeah. So especially when Bournemouth and Chelsea are like winning and paving
Even
their
Brighton are on
road.
a roll, not to forget Brighton. They are,
Yeah,
after the
Brighton too.
thrashing by Nottingham Forest, they have picked up results. They picked up good results on the way.
Yep. So I
So,
think it's a tough road for City
and
to
there will
finish
be
in
a
top four.
massive, from what I read in an article online, there will be a massive clear out for City in the summer. Like, I believe
Wow,
Jack Grealish, John Stones, you have big names.
wow,
Bernardo Silva, Kevin De Bruyne. So these
wow,
players have been told to find some other club.
wow. That's big.
So it
So
will be huge for them to
another,
replace. Like they are aging, no doubt. They are on the they are like turning or already have crossed 30. Uh, and I believe it's been time that Pep's system has uh, taken out most from them, and now there's nothing more
yep.
left in the tank, it
Nothing.
feels.
yeah. Maybe KDB for like one more season, till they find a
KDB,
good replacement.
KDB this season, I haven't been impressed much. Like his injuries are taking a toll. He's 32 or
Yep,
33 now,
yep,
if I'm not wrong. So injuries are
yep,
taking
yep, yep.
toll on his body. No doubt he was one of the best players for the past few seasons. I believe I would say ever since he joined the Premier League, he's been one of the top performers season in,
Sadly.
season out.
Yep,
But
yep,
now,
yep.
especially since the last season, I've seen injuries taking a toll on Kevin De Bruyne, and he's out for a prolonged period, and that has affected the game somehow.
The team. Yep, yep, yep. Definitely. But I think they need to find a good replacement for him.
So I think they are
Splash out
relying
like
more on
500
Marmoush.
millions.
Yeah, they would spend. They are
Splash out
trying for
500
Florian
million.
Wirtz. They are trying for
Right. Yep.
Florian Wirtz in the summer. So let's see how the season pans out for them. As a United fan, I would be happy if they don't finish in top four.
Yep. That would be
But
huge. Like I want them to play Conference League and travel to somewhere like
FC
Moldova
Astana,
or somewhere.
Sheriff,
Yep, yep.
FC Sheriff, FC Sion.
There, somewhere like in Eastern Europe.
Yeah,
That would be fun.
that would be fun. And they've always had like surprisingly at least up till the round of 16 they've had mostly easier fixtures in the Champions League.
Easier fixture. Yep, yep, yep.
But then they are not in the
So
Champions League. Then they are not competing for a title. So only hope for them is to get a top four finish this season.
yep, yep, yep.
Okay, so
So
let's move on to the next match. Uh, we'll go for Liverpool.
yes, big win for them. Steal their title. Uh, I think they went down first. If I remember, like
Yeah, they were trailing at halftime, if
the
I'm not wrong.
halftime, just at the halftime mark, just before the halftime mark, they were trailing. But then Liverpool,
But
they have
there was
they
no
have
doubt that
confidence. They
they'd get a result. They'd get a positive result from this match.
Yep, yep,
Salah
yep,
again, like very very strong contender for Ballon d'Or. Uh,
yep,
Even if
yep.
Pool don't end up winning the Champions League, I still feel he'd be amongst the top three.
Top three, yeah, for sure. I mean, Ballon d'Or literally, if they even reach finals, I think he will still win it. You know,
Yeah, yeah.
if if they, other than that, it really depends on who scores well, plays well for the remaining of the season. But
As you
probably
mentioned earlier, like they've
someone
had
from
good luck
Madrid.
with injuries. They don't have a player out for a long period.
Yep,
And one good thing I've seen over the past so many seasons, like you have very few players who play week in, week out, who perform, and Salah has been one of them. Like I don't recall a time when Salah was out for a long period. Other player
right. Yep,
that
yep.
comes to my mind is Bruno Fernandes. He's been ever present, but Salah, like considering the amount of running that he does, considering the pressing that Klopp's team have been known for,
That's him. Yep, yep, yep,
he has managed himself really well, and considering that he also follows Ramzan every year, so
yep.
considering all those
No, I think
factors, I
I think
think
he's in top form and he's in top fitness
yeah,
as well.
and
I
he's
don't think he does
30
has.
plus as well. Like it's not easy.
Yeah,
It's not
it's not
easy.
easy at this time. There has been no news about his contract yet, right?
No, from the looks, it seems that he is probably going to Saudi.
Oh, is it? Okay.
There haven't been any talks, positive talks as well. I wouldn't say they are,
Yep.
and negative. Like there have been the contract talks seem to have stalled. Like Loken would give us a better
Stall.
idea.
Yep. Yeah, I
Uh,
think he has a better idea, but that would be huge. Like a player like Salah to be replaced, it's not easy.
they did it with Mane. Like everyone thought with Mane and Firmino leaving, Liverpool would end up in a bad place. But then they somehow managed their way, even with Darwin Núñez at front.
Yep, yep. No, but I mean,
They
Salah
have
has
a
been a
good,
different player
yeah.
totally. Like 10
Salah is a
years,
very different player, no doubt.
10 years, like he has been right in front of the goal every
Yeah,
time, scoring 20 plus each season. Like,
yeah.
so,
He's very close to
it,
breaking.
it,
He broke Aguero's record, I believe, this game week.
yes, I think so. 182 or something,
Yeah.
184. Yeah.
So I believe
So,
only Wayne Rooney, Lampard, I guess, is just ahead of him, if I'm not wrong.
189 or something.
Yeah. So
If I'm
Lampard, Rooney, Kane,
185,
and
185.
Shearer.
Yep, yep. So I think he will still probably end up fourth or maybe third. Um, but yeah, let's see how things go in summer for him
Yeah, it's
about
going
the
to be
contract.
and especially with other two big players as well. So you have Trent, who's on the last year of the contract, and Virgil van Dijk. I believe
Van
Trent is
Dijk.
being eyed up by Real Madrid. Like they would go behind him viciously in the summer. Uh,
Yep, yep, yep,
and there would be the talks would have already been started, if I'm not wrong. Behind the scenes, the talks would have
yep.
been started, and from
But
the looks of it, Liverpool are targeting Milos Kerkez, the Bournemouth right back, as
yeah,
both, left
replacement.
back.
Yeah.
So they are targeting
Okay.
Milos Kerkez for sure, if I'm not wrong.
Right. Okay. Okay. Let's move to the next match. Spurs.
Positive results for Spurs. I did not expect them to draw the game, and I
Positive
believe
indeed, but
Bournemouth were leading, right?
yes, Bournemouth were leading and then they came back. So positive in a way, but then I expected them to win at home.
Hmm.
To finish in top 10, they needed this win. I mean, they're going just like United.
Yeah,
They're out of everywhere, and just one hope is Europa.
Europa.
And if they finish in top 10, that's like a
And they lost the Europa game
saving
too,
grace.
right?
Uh, I don't remember honestly. Um,
Let me check.
I think yeah, yeah. I think you might be right.
Yeah, they lost
They
1
lost.
0
They
They
lost
lost 1-0
us
against
as
Alkmaar.
yeah, Alkmaar again. Right, right, right.
But
So
I'd give it to them that they were trailing 2-0 and then they had to come back and draw the game. So that's a big result for them. Uh,
yep, yep,
the
yep.
other thing is most of their players are coming back from injuries now. They don't have a huge injury list anymore. So uh,
Right. So
the-
by end of the season, I think they'll be in a stronger position compared to December, how they were in December.
yeah,
When it comes to injuries, but I think till that time, most of the season is already over, and
it's
they're
already done.
fighting for yeah, fighting for
It's
top 10.
like for them as well, like Europa and top 10, those are the only two hopes for them.
Yep, yep, yep.
Okay,
Uh,
let's move on to the
then
next
we can
one. Then Chelsea,
Chelsea won. I think
1-0. Leicester.
Leicester was doing pretty well. I mean,
Yeah,
holding on Chelsea to a nil-nil draw,
even
but then
uh, Palmer's penalty record, 100% penalty record was over this game
yep,
week.
yep, over.
His
Yep,
penalty
yep,
was
yep.
saved. And like we discussed at the
Uh,
start, so Palmer, his drop in the form has affected Chelsea. Uh, they like he was rock solid at the start of the season, but past couple of months, I don't recall Palmer having like an outstanding game, at least in the
Outstanding game.
Premier
Yep,
League.
yep, 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 yep.
But
And
there's
I
still,
think they have the same problem. They have Palmer, but they don't have finisher. A
hmm,
good one to convert his chances or like to assist him.
yeah.
So uh, they should
Jackson
be with
banged
the.
in goals at the start of the season, but Jackson, like being Jackson, he hasn't and he
I think
hasn't scored in he
despite
hasn't
the
been consistent.
uh, and despite of the vast squad they have,
Yeah.
I'm
They are
surprised they
lacking
don't have
a better.
anyone.
They have Nkunku as a backup striker. I
Yeah.
wouldn't say Nkunku as an out and out striker, but Chelsea might go for Benjamin Sesko in summer.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
I
That's what
always
the
feel
talks
that
were about.
Chelsea, like going back to the time of Mourinho, Chelsea always had like a big figure up front who would bully the defender. So you had Drogba, you had Diego Costa, and then after that, Chelsea have been trying to replace, get such strikers, and those were the strikers which won them the league, right? So
Right.
they
Yep. Yep.
haven't been able to replace those strikers, and that's what I feel like. They create chances. They have loads of talented players in the squad. Uh, but still, like I feel having a bullish striker is what we were accustomed to seeing Chelsea for. like past couple of decades,
But
at least in the
yep,
first decade after Abramovich took over. Uh, and I don't recollect have Chelsea having a similar striker after that. They tried it with Morata, did not work. Lukaku, like his mind and heart were somewhere else, so he did not turn out great for them. And then now you
yep,
have Nicholas Jackson. He's very young. He might do well later, but again, like I don't see him as a striker who would score 20, 20, 25 plus goals and win them the league.
go- yep, absolutely. I think they need to have someone up front who can bang goals. His
Yeah,
only job is to be in that 6 yard box and just tap in.
yeah.
You know, so
So
that would really help them as a team and Palmer's confidence as well.
true. And then it's good to see
Uh,
Jadon Sancho doing not so well. I'm a United fan.
oh, yeah. Like first two games, they were like, "Oh, Sancho's back. Thank you for giving him."
He has that
But
one game, then he disappears for quite some time. And that's what
yep,
his problem
yep,
is, mentality.
mentality. Yep. He's a freedom fighter. So
Okay.
then let's move to the next game.
Villa. Let's look at Villa's game.
Villa had a big win
Yeah,
away
Brentford.
Brentford. I mean, Brentford hasn't been like very consistent, but then
Mm.
that really helps them, in confidence,
Yeah.
to finish it top four. They're still in CL as well,
Mhm.
so
They
that's
they won they won in UCL, right?
yep, they did,
So yeah.
and
So and like so Watkins is scoring goals again, so they'll probably be
yeah,
confident. Like
I
they
think
are almost through to the next round. They are still in the FA Cup.
yep,
So
yep,
Villa's
yep.
having a good season.
Yeah, they're having an I think tremendous season. They've assembled good players. Even Rashford, if you watch him, he plays a little different than how he was here in
So he
United.
had that
So
attitude problem here. Like he
yeah,
thought of himself as the biggest in the club. I believe he got some reality check, and uh, this transfer, this loan move, is helping his confidence back again. It helped him
yep,
to get to like a ground level status and start
yep.
his way back up again. So hopefully he decides to stick to United with an improve. If he sticks, I hope that there's an improvement in his mentality.
Improvement.
Uh,
Yep. Or
his
or
form
at
is
least
good, no doubt. Yeah.
bank some goals, and like raise his price, and then he's a he's a player. Like he's an academic grad, right? So it's like
That's
hundred
why I
percent.
always would have a soft spot for him.
Yeah. Uh, But I would prefer him to go somewhere else. A club where we
And I
can
believe
create
we
some
will
money.
be needing money in the summer
Yeah,
from the looks
exactly,
and talks
exactly,
of Sir Jim Ratcliffe. So
exactly. Yep.
Rashford would be one of the
Yesterday.
players up for sale. So I'm even Anthony, who's having like the GOAT, is having a good season at Real Betis.
Yeah, I
Like his
hope
aura helped them defeat Madrid.
Yeah, yeah.
So let's hope
Uh,
that these two players continue having a good season, and if they are sold, we'll get a good price for them at the end of it.
yep. Then there's like a few matches. Crystal Palace, Ipswich, Palace winning 1-0. No surprises.
No
Uh,
surprises there. Yeah.
everyone expected Ipswich to lose. Then there was Brighton, who are
Brighton
doing
won
well.
2-1 against Fulham. Yeah.
Fulham, big. I think that it was a big
It was
win
a
for them.
victory at the end. So if I remember correctly, there was a penalty at the very end,
Yep.
which Brighton scored, which
I
allowed
think
them
it was like last minute penalty or
last minute
something.
penalty.
Like,
Yeah. It
yeah,
was a
yeah,
very
yeah.
tight game up till then.
Yep. But good for them. They
Brighton
they're
are on a
top
roll.
four
Like I
hope.
mentioned, Brighton in the last 5 games has lost just one and they have won four. So they have accumulated 12 points in the last 5 games. And if you look at United, they have accumulated 5 points
5 point. Yep.
in the last 5 games, and Brighton have
Honestly,
accumulated 12.
I mean they're on 46. Very close to Man City and Newcastle.
Yeah.
They're like They are on 47.
They are in
So
contention for
the
top four.
top four is still alive. Plus, if not top four, maybe just too crowded. The top four is too crowded. At least Europa spot is still
Yeah,
alive. So
they are just
good
one
for
good
them.
result and Chelsea and City dropping points, so they are right about there.
Yep. And then there was the
Which one
uh,
did we miss?
uh, I think
Wolves
we missed
Everton,
one. Wolves Everton. Yep.
1-1 draw.
So no surprises. I
Yeah.
think Everton dropping points is good thing for us. I can't believe I am saying that, but yeah, good to see them drop some points. And yeah, I think Wolves,
So Wolves are
they
pretty much
might
safe.
just survive.
I believe the
Yeah.
three teams which came up are going down again.
Yes, I mean Wolves are still there. They're just 6 points. Two bad games and they're down.
It would be difficult. Like I
There's
don't see Leicester getting more points or uh,
Yeah, I think
Southampton
Leicester
or
has
Ipswich. Like if you look at the
lost.
results, right, in the past 5 games, Ipswich has just 1 point from the past 5 games. Leicester no
Yep,
points and Southampton 3 points.
3 points. Yep. Southampton is definitely gone. I
Southampton's
mean,
gone. They
I
are
don't
competing
expect them,
against Derby City for the worst
but
Premier
yeah,
League team.
yeah. But I think Ipswich, they might still, they might just be. I don't think Leicester has that confidence. I don't think so. Van Nistelrooy has brought in that confidence in them.
No, no.
But Ipswich might be hoping to, stay up.
Like let's look at
But yeah,
Ipswich's
I think
fixtures. There's only one fixture where I think they can get points, and that's against Leicester. If you see the other fixtures, they have Bournemouth away, they have Newcastle away,
Forest. Yeah,
they have
I think they're Forest next.
yeah,
Forest home, Bournemouth. Wolves is that one fixture. They
Wolves.
might just.
Yeah. Okay, so I
But
guess
yeah,
we are
let's.
at the end of time. Thank you
Yep.
guys for joining in. We'll try to be more consistent with our videos and see you all soon. Anything else to say, Amir?
Yep. Thank you so much for following us. Thank you so much. Please do leave suggestions. What do you want us to talk about? What do you want to hear about? And we'll definitely